Am I gonna eat one straight out of the oven? You betcha. Hello everybody, I'm Miss MonMon. Welcome to my channel. Today we are embarking on a very special vintage cooking adventure as we are making ANZAC biscuits. The history of ANZAC biscuits is rather scattered, and historians can't actually agree or decide when the first official recipe of ANZAC biscuits came out. Some argue that the first ever published recipe was in 1914. However, it wasn't until a lot later that what we know as ANZAC biscuits today was decided that, yep, that's the one. There are loads of variations of the ANZAC biscuit over history, and it has gone through quite a lot of changes. Some include milk and eggs and others don't. Some don't even have the signature rolled oats in them, which we know today as being something that makes up ANZAC biscuits and what makes it iconic. Although Aussies and Kiwis may argue over a lot of things, whether it be pavlova or is it a jandal or a thong, it's totally a thong. We do come together when it comes to ANZAC biscuits. Today's recipe comes from 1914 and it is from the Country Women's Association cookbook. However, I am not sure whether that is the original date it was published, as historians say the first official published recipe was in 1915, a year later. The recipe we are using today wasn't judged until 1981. But I have included it in my blog, which you can find in the description box below if you'd like to have a look at it yourself. I'm not a historian, so I can't verify how true this recipe is. I found it floating around on Pinterest, and all sources say it is from the Country Women's Association. So we are just going to make it and see what happens. As always, it's aprons on. Okay, so I have my oven preheating to 160 degrees Celsius, and we are going to start making our biscuits in our mixing bowl. We first begin with 2 cups of rolled oats. We then add 1 cup of plain flour. The last thing we are adding is 3/4 of a cup of sugar. That's a lot of sugar. In a separate bowl, we are going to add our butter and our golden syrup and melt it together. I'm just going to do that in the microwave. With that all melted up, I now have 2 tablespoons of hot water, and I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. In that goes, and we'll give it a mix. My other camera's died, so we are just reduced to this. I'm adding the bicarbonate to the melted butter. Yep, that totally melted. It is now time to add our wet ingredients to the dry ingredients, and I am going to mix them together. Oh, I love the smell of golden syrup. It's just so good. I wish I could add raisins to it, but I know I can't. Might be a faux pas. So our mixture is all mixed up. Smells absolutely delicious. I love golden syrup. So now the recipe wants me to roll this batter into balls the size of a walnut and place them onto a greased baking tray. I have 2 baking trays with some baking paper, so that is what I am going to assemble my biscuits on. We have now our ANZAC biscuits ready to go in the oven, and they will be going in for about 20 minutes. I don't know how much ANZAC biscuits expand, so I might keep spreading them out, but you know, everyone loves a dollop of biscuit. Whee! And now we wait 20 minutes. Now how to technology. So that's why my morning alarm didn't go off. Rude.
A little later.
Silence!
Bickies, bickies, bickies. Okay, cool. Oh, they look like biscuits.
Hiya! They're done. The recipe now says to let the cookies cool and crisp up on the tray. I'm going to let them do that in their own time, but I will try one now while it's piping hot because I honestly can't wait. Who waits for cookies to cool down? Just, It's so cute. That's really good. That's super yummy. Okay, they are seriously yum. It's been a while since I found a vintage recipe that I 10 out of 10 would make again. So I'm glad that these 1914 ANZAC biscuits have made it. As I said, I'm not sure about dates in terms of this recipe, but the recipe is yum, so we're just gonna go with it. Well, that's a nice way to end my day. Thank you so much for spending some time and joining me on another vintage cooking adventure. I have quite the playlist of other adventures if you would like to continue watching. And of course, I always have this full recipe and details on my blog, which you can find in the description box below. You can also find any of my social media, so please feel free to like, comment and subscribe to any of my social media and my YouTube channel. It is so exciting watching it grow ever so slowly. I will see you guys all next week with a brand new video, but until then, be kind, be true, be you, and have a fantastic week. Bye guys! Having never made ANZAC biscuits before, I think all the alarms are going off. Oh wait, that was my 4:30 alarm, not my cookies are done alarm. 2 minutes won't make a difference, will it? I want to keep eating it. I get to eat the biscuits, they call them cookies, 'cause that's American.